Hey Hoopheads, Brad here with another breakdown, and today I want to talk about the Raptors' 119-118 win over the Pacers. The Raptors were led in this game by Kyle Lowry, who had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. Ibaka had 30 points, including the game-winning 3. Siakam had 25 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals. He went to the line 11 times. This was really a superstar performance from him down the stretch. And this was a game where the Raptors dug themselves a big hole, getting outscored by 25 in the second quarter. They were down 11 with just 3 minutes left, but they were able to come back and get the W. Let's get into it. On this play, as Malcolm Brogdon drives on Fred, Serge is going to step away from Sabonis, so OG rotates over to Serge's man. That leaves Miles Turner open in the corner, a bit of a blunder as both Lowry and OG close out to him. Turner passes it out to the top to Lamb. Lamb should probably shoot it here, but OG closes out to him. Pascal slides over with the help. Then OG rotates out to Pascal's man. Then Pascal switches back onto Oladipo. He pulls it out. They're going to have to go to a screen and roll now. And as Oladipo drops it off to Sabonis, he makes contact with Serge, fumbles the ball. That's going to be a turnover. The Raptors get out and running. Kyle Lowry up and in with the layup. The Raptors had a pretty good first quarter, outscoring the Pacers by 10, but I'm not going to show too many highlights from this quarter because I want to talk more about the ending. This is still the first quarter though, the last possession of the quarter. The Pacers are running the clock down a little bit, and Pascal decides to get up and pressure. And one of the reasons this works is that you know the Pacers don't want to shoot right now because they don't want to give you another possession before the clock runs out. So that frees you up to gamble a little more and not worry too much about getting out of position. Siakam almost gets the steal, then Terrence Davis is able to poke it away, and Chris Boucher gets fouled on the recovery. And the start of the second quarter was fine here. After Terrence Davis misses a shot, the Raptors get back on defense. You can see Terrence Davis pointing out that his man is going to the corner, but he's worried about the ball right now. And as McConnell gets into the lane, check out the way OG stunts hard toward the baseline. That forces McConnell to go for a really tough passing angle. The ball goes out of bounds. Great work by Terrence Davis and OG to shut that down. And now on this play, as Sabonis comes over to hand it off to McDermott, McConnell's going to cut to the baseline, but McCaw stays up. McConnell's not much of a scoring threat, and he's worried about McDermott. The pass goes to McConnell, and then OG rotates over from the weak side, while Terrence Davis rotates over to OG's man. McCaw rotates over to Davis's man, and then Domantas Sabonis gets a fairly open 3. That's not the end of the world. He misses the shot, but the Pacers are able to track down the rebound, and as the Raptors try to get their defense back into order, the Pacers work it around a little bit, eventually finding Doug McDermott at the elbow for a reasonably well-contested 3, but he still drains it, and that was just the start of the problems for the Raptors. And on this play, don't worry about what's happening at the top. Let's just watch Patrick McCaw for the whole possession. Check out the way he has his head on a swivel, trying to keep an eye on both his man and the ball, looking back and forth like almost every second. But as Aaron Holiday starts to drive and put pressure on the defense, Justin Holiday times it perfectly when McCaw is looking away and starts his back cut, gets up for the alley-oop. That's not even bad defense really, just great offense. And now on this one, as McConnell comes off the screen, you can see Serge is fairly high. He's trying to stay reasonably well tied to Domantas Sabonis. That means Hollis-Jefferson has to rotate over from the weak side, and I think he just comes a step too early. And McConnell gets rid of it really quickly, and that means OG doesn't have time to rotate. McDermott's going to get a wide open corner 3. And now off this inbound, Rondé is pressed right up on Doug McDermott, and he just back cuts him. He is a 3-point threat, but you can't get out of position like that when there's no help on the backside. And now the Raptors scrambling a little bit, playing pretty good defense despite the fact that it looks chaotic. But as the ball goes out to Justin Holiday at the right elbow, let's check out Terrence Davis on the weak side. You can see right here he's clocking where McDermott is, and as Justin Holiday drives, Doug McDermott is going to slide down to the corner while Justin Holiday keeps his eyes out to the elbow so that Terrence Davis thinks his man's still there. You can see Davis moves in the completely wrong direction. McDermott gets another corner 3. Tough run by the Raptors. And if you want to know how you get outscored 43-18 in a single quarter, it's by giving up open 3 after open 3 after open 3. And on this one, after Boucher misses the 3 as Pascal battles for the rebound, you can see the Raptors watching. Boucher moves towards the basketball, and that's going to be a mistake. Now as the Pacers push it, the Raptors wind up with 3 defenders on only 2 guys. That means the other side is overloaded, and Lowry can't even run out to his man here because Boucher's not back to rotate onto Sabonis. And that little gamble by Boucher on the other end really created that advantage for the Pacers. Now on this one, Siakam and Boucher switch the initial action. Boucher does a pretty good job getting down in his stance. As Brogdon attacks, Lowry slides into the lane to cut him off. Rondé rotates out to Lowry's man, and then Siakam tries to get to the corner, but he ends up fouling him on the 3-pointer. And I want to talk about this shot contest. When you're contesting a shot on a flyby like Siakam is here, you always want to use the hand that is closest to the defender so that you don't have to reach across your body. You can get your body further away from the defender and limit the amount of contact that you have. It's good to contest a right-handed shooter with your left hand if you're in front of him, but not if you're on a flyby like Siakam. And part of the other reason that the Pacers ran away with it in the second quarter is they just hit some tough shots. Contested twos, contested threes. Here you can see Rondae contesting the shot with his left hand like I talked about. That's good defense, just better offense. Brogdon hit some tough layups that were pretty well contested by Boucher. Just a tough stretch for the Raptors. But now in the second half, the Raptors defense starts to tighten up. The Pacers are going to work it to Sabonis in the low post, but as he gets the ball, check out Malcolm Brogdon. He's going to come off the screen and cut up to the top like he's going up for a three, but then dive to the basket. And check out how tightly OG stays to the screen. That allows him to turn the corner quickly and shut off that option. Brogdon pulls it out and tries to give it back to Sabonis in the post, but Serge is able to poke it away. And now Oladipo is going to sprint off the screen, and Fred just gets right in his business without fouling. That is tremendous defense. Fred is one of the best in the league at getting over screens. Siakam pushes it up the court and tries to go at Sabonis. Sabonis with some nice verticality to shut off the drive, but Siakam sprints back on defense, putting pressure on Sabonis from behind while Fred approaches from the front. Sabonis gets a little flustered. Siakam with the great tip to avoid Oladipo picking it up. That's going to be a turnover. And now the Pacers are trying to work it to Sabonis in the post, and as the pass goes out to Oladipo, check out Sabonis. He's standing fairly straight up. That allows Siakam to get around him as they try to throw the entry pass. Sabonis needs to have a better seal there and use his butt to prevent Siakam from coming around. Here, Siakam and OG are going to switch this screen. OG is on Sabonis now, and Sabonis is going to try to post him up, but OG does a really nice job of fronting. And meanwhile, on the weak side, Kyle Lowry is shading over just to be a pest if they try to throw the pass over the top. The Pacers are going to swing it to Lowry's man, and Lowry with a nice closeout under control, able to guide Lamb to the sideline while OG comes over with the help. The Raptors end up committing a foul on the rebound, but nice work to shut off that initial action. And on this one, as Sabonis comes up to set the screen for Brogdon, you see both Fred and Siakam go with Sabonis. Just a little miscommunication there gives Brogdon a wide open three. And now off the inbound, Brogdon gets the ball, and Sabonis here is a decoy. Brogdon's not going to use the screen. He's going to redirect it and drive to the left and try to kick it out to somebody for three. But as he drives, Lowry steps into the lane, takes the charge. You love to see it. And now Fred pressuring at the top. He and Terrence Davis switch this initial action. As Brogdon moves to the right wing, Fred drops down to Miles Turner so that Pascal Siakam can focus on helping. The pass goes out to Fred's man, and as Oladipo attacks, Fred avoids the foul as Oladipo gets into the air and he throws it right to Terrence Davis. Nice pressure to force the turnover. And now this is out of a timeout, and you can see the Pacers bringing the ball up, and as they do, they're just going to throw a little pitch pass, and they're just a little bit too casual about it while Lowry pounces into the lane. He takes it the other way, puts on the brakes so that Jeremy Lamb has no chance of the chase down. And now the Raptors going small with Siakam at the center, and they switch this initial action. That puts McCaw on Miles Turner. That's a mismatch the Pacers want to exploit. You can see Davis lurking around, trying to be there for the double team if he needs to be. The Pacers swing it to the other side and then swing it right back. As he gets it, Terrence Davis comes over with the double. Meanwhile, OG is just lurking at the free throw line, waiting to pick off a pass. He's able to deflect it, and Pascal picks it up. And even though the Raptors played better D in the second half, they still struggled to completely close the gap. Every time they made a run, it seemed like the Pacers would hit a three or a couple threes and blow it back up to a 10-point lead. On this one, Rondae and Siakam switch the initial action. Rondae nice and low in his stance on Brogdon. Meanwhile, Siakam stays in help position and is able to get a hand in there and jar the ball loose. Quality help defense. And now Serge playing post defense on Sabonis. Sabonis not able to get anything on this first go around. As the ball goes to McConnell, Serge drops off of Sabonis to get in help position. Then the ball goes back out to Sabonis. Serge with a nice closeout, under control. Good positioning, not giving up anything, lots of pressure. Nice verticality. Pacers get the offensive board but aren't able to put it in. Nice post defense possession for Serge. The Raptors have worked it all the way down to a 1-point lead for the Pacers, but then Indiana drained 3 threes in the span of a minute to blow it back up to 10, and that's about where it would stay until there were 3.5 minutes left when the Raptors rolled out the full court press. On this first instance, you can see the Pacers beat it with a simple reverse pass, bringing it up the opposite sideline. But now the Pacers do the Raptors a favor because they could turn this into a 2-on-1. There's Domantas Sabonis right here and a guy hiding over in the corner and Serge under the basket. But instead, since the Pacers are up fairly big with 3.5 minutes left, they decide to pull it out and run the clock down as much as they can. This is something the Raptors used to do a lot under Dwayne Casey, and it would drive me insane. Sabonis comes up to set the screen with just 5 seconds left. Oladipo with a really nice bounce pass through there. He gets fouled, so it works out okay for the Pacers this time. Now on the next defensive possession, same deal. Pacers trying to run the clock down. They get a couple switches. They find a matchup they like. Brogdon on Ibaka. Ibaka getting his hand up to try to contest the shot. Brogdon runs it down until there's not much time left. He jacks it up, misses. Siakam pulls down the board, kicks it ahead to Lowry, and Lowry gives it back at the three-point line. Siakam has Holiday on him, who's much smaller, takes him into the lane, puts it up in floater range before Sabonis can get to him. He gets the and one, and Siakam really started to take over at this point. Here you see Siakam going at Holiday again. Domantas Sabonis has to come over with the double. That turns into a switch. That means when Serge goes to the basket, he's going to have Justin Holiday on him. The Raptors kick it to the left wing and throw the entry pass. Sabonis stunts towards Serge as McDermott comes down to help on Siakam. A little miscommunication on the help, and both guys leave Siakam wide open. He's going to score that. The Raptors go right back into their full court press. This time the Pacers have a little bit more of a problem with it, but still they're able to beat it with the reverse pass. The Pacers get it into the front court and then slow it down again. The Pacers are back to running the clock down, which is a problem because their great ball movement was what helped them build their big lead. Sabonis comes up to set the screen with less than 10 seconds on the clock. The Raptors switch it. That puts Terrence Davis on Sabonis in the post. It takes the Pacers a second or two to enter it, and then with the shot clock low, Pascal comes over with a hard double and makes himself huge to prevent the pass. The Pacers get called for a 24-second violation. Probably should have gone sooner. And now as Siakam brings it up, Justin Holiday is on him, so he just goes straight at him. The defense collapses on him. He kicks it back out to Lowry, who's going to drain the three. Now the lead is just 5. The Raptors go straight into another press. This time as Sabonis gets the ball, the Raptors know he doesn't want to put it on the floor. So check out how Terrence Davis and Pascal Siakam take a step back from him. And then the second he goes to dribble it, they both move towards him. He has to swing it back to Brogdon. And as Brogdon tries to bring it up the near side, Terrence Davis forces him toward the sideline. He throws the jumping pass to Miles Turner. It goes out of bounds. It's called out on the Raptors, but the rest would look at it and overturn that. On the next possession, the Pacers finally have Sabonis on Siakam. Siakam goes straight at him. Sabonis gets his hands forward a little bit, gets called for the foul, and then the Raptors go for another press off the second made free throw. The Pacers get it to Oladipo, and as the trap comes, he reverses the ball, and as Brogdon dribbles it, check out Kyle Lowry. He squares his feet to Holiday and takes a couple stutter steps towards him. That makes Brogdon think he's running that way. That means the pass to Sabonis would be open, and meanwhile Pascal Siakam takes a step towards Brogdon and then jets back towards Sabonis. He's able to intercept that pass. Unbelievable defensive effort from everybody on this play, especially Siakam. He takes it to the hole and puts it up and in. That's what I was talking about when I said Siakam had a superstar game. The Pacers call timeout with a 2-point lead, and then off the ensuing inbound, Lowry pressuring up, the Pacers go a little bit more quickly this time. Serge and Lowry switch the initial action, and as Oladipo sizes up Serge, Justin Holiday is going to clear out of the strong side, and as he does, Siakam and Lowry switch down low. Then Oladipo tries to drive on Serge, but Lowry is right there to take the charge, so Oladipo has to pull up short. He misses the shot. Serge chases down the board, and then the Raptors are going to take it down to the other end, looking for some early offense. Nothing materializes, so they give it to Pascal Siakam. He has Holiday on him again, so he's going to drive into the teeth of the defense, kick it out to Lowry. The rotation comes, but Lowry kicks it to Serge. He drains the monster three, a clutch bucket from the king of scarfs. And then down at the defensive end, as Sabonis comes up to set the screen, Serge is going to come out with the trap. Lowry rotates over to Sabonis. And right here, once Serge is back into position, Lowry should be going back out to Oladipo. He's just a second late on the closeout, but Oladipo misses anyway. The rebound comes off at a weird angle. The Pacers are able to track it down. Oladipo kicks it out to the top. But as Brogdon tries to drive, first Terrence Davis takes a swipe at it, and then Fred VanVleet absolutely rips him. Fred picks it up and passes it to Terrence Davis as the time expires. That's going to be the ball game. The Raptors get their franchise record 12th win in a row to go to 37-14. And hopefully the Raptors can have a little bit less of a stressful time as they face the Pacers on the second half of this home and home. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of the Raptors defense in the comments.